Hey, Kevin.
It's so good to see you.
Go get some pupusas, Kevin. Have you had them before?
No, I
Oh my goodness, you are in for it.
Mais i saporem in ore sentimus felicitatem puram nunc.
Breakfast, go, okay, we have to get pupusas because pupusas are the national food of El Salvador.
Yeah.
And
What are they?
It's like a fat corn tortilla stuffed with tasty things. And so my mother is from La Union, a small village called Pasaquina.
Near the sea or?
Yep, near this, not far. It's not far from that bay. She was the first in her family to go to college.
Yeah.
And then she became a small business owner. She worked for a judge. And she was on the city council of her town. But then she went to visit her, her cousin in San Francisco, and she met my dad.
Yeah.
And so that's now here I am.
Yeah. Believe it or not, it's been like 3 months since our last conversation.
Yeah.
How has it been on the campaign?
I'm very happy. I feel that I have the exact campaign that I want to have. Like I always came in this with a mission, a very specific mission. And it's not just to defeat Mike Lawler, which is mission critical, but it's to do it in a way that I think corrects some systemic barriers that exist within the party to truly have a big tent. A big tent that includes communities that are considered to be low propensity voters, and they are.
Yeah.
But we have to ask ourselves why.
Yeah.
You know, and then what do we do about that to fix that? Like, as a person who has always worked, you know, for Hispanic communities, sort of within Hispanic communities, I know the level of distrust that exists with our political system.
What's driving that distrust, in your view?
In my view, it's elected officials not doing the work of being in communities, really listening to needs, developing policy on those needs, and then executing. There is a perception, I think, that I've heard as much. I actually heard at one of the forums, like one person said to me, "Why are you talking about Hispanic voters? Because they don't vote, so why do we bother?" And I said to her, I'm like, you are actually the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is so good. Yeah, like I gotta do it like my mom does. I'm just picking it up.
Do it.
It's okay. I'm telling you, when you eat that food that you remember from your...
So what are the memories that immediately come back to you? I'm going to ask you. Let's go back in the time machine. Like, where are you, and what are you picturing?
In the kitchen with my mom.
Yeah.
Who was always in the kitchen, and the dough is called masa. So she always had a ball of masa in the fridge, always. And so my sister and I would steal it, right? It's like, and then eat it like, whoa.
Where do you see like your lane? Where do you see your community, your path forward?
My lane has always been, I suppose, a progressive lane, though I use that term, I learned in running this, in entering this race, that lanes are very important for how people conceive of how elections go.
Yep.
That there's a candidate, they occupy a lane.
Yeah.
Every candidate should have a different lane. But for me, I suppose that lane is progressive, right? But what it is, it's fundamentally like people-centered, people first. Are the needs of people being met?
Yeah.
I don't think...
But I mean, like Beth and Kate and and Peter would say that their campaigns are about meeting the needs of people. Like, how's the Effie campaign?
I don't think. I think it's not just when in office, because we know historically it hasn't happened consistently when in office. It is about making sure that people are empowered to use their vote, that they're empowered to flex and to really determine what it is that we should be doing, right? That is a critical aspect, I think, of every campaign. So yes, we can talk about all of us, of course, care an immense amount about affordability. But to me, as a person who's been in office, it's not enough to do that without a tactical plan to make sure you reach all communities, and particularly communities who have been defined and sidelined as low propensity voters. And I've had people say to me, "What? That's crazy," And I was just like, "No, this is the work." People could say that that's not how you're going to win. That's not how you're going to do. Like, I don't care. Like, I couldn't run a campaign where I felt like I was being true to myself if I wasn't doing the work of going deep with communities that I know who have always been sidelined. So that is where I would say that there's a key difference between us. It just so happens, and I first began thinking about entering this race right after Trump won, right? And in many ways people thought this progressive lane, which is one where government is not like a business, right? That government is a separate entity, from the business world or the nonprofit world or whatever. That government is really supposed to do the work of making sure that it promotes the general welfare by keeping corporations in check, by making sure that taxes are actually used to invest in the nation and invest in people, right? So I guess in that respect, I'm a progressive. A challenge will be whether or not people can divorce their sense of the stereotype of progressive that's been created by the far right versus what a progressive is at its core, which is fundamentally taking care of people and making sure that the system is as fair as it could be so people can thrive.
And what I'm hearing from you is you don't want to just work from the top down, from leadership to district leaders to folks who've been previously engaged in elections to folks who have a propensity to vote in elections. You really want to take your campaign and your platform and your issue, what you think the issues are, and confirm them, validate them with folks who have been otherwise sidelined.
And it's not to say that all those people don't matter. Our district leaders, our local volunteers who run our committees are so important. I mean, their hearts are in it. They get it done. They get out there.
They do.
They get the position. Incredibly important. It can be even bigger.
Yes.
And it can be even bigger in a way that ensures that we can take back our nation.
And if you build from the bottom up.
We always have to be, I mean, look what's happening. Look what happened. I mean, I believe that the last two races in New York 17th were ours to lose. I believe
and we did.
And we lost. I don't think that they were Lawler's masterful gains. I think we dropped the ball. We can't drop the ball anymore. What I'm trying to do is pick up the ball, right? Because if we do that, we will win. We will win.
So how does your suburban progressive agenda move that ball forward?
So I'm trying to be, so as you know, the suburban progressive agenda focuses on a few pillars. It focuses on housing.
What's wrong with housing, Effie? It's fine.
Housing is great. But it's funny that you say that, because so many people say, it's fine where I am, you have to build it somewhere else. Not in my backyard.
It's an issue. I'm very passionate about it. But as soon as you propose a solution, like in Bedford, we have a big cell service dead zone, and everyone wanted to raise their issues about like that this needed to be resolved. No one wanted to have the tower near their home, and I think we're seeing that also with affordable housing. How do we overcome that?
I think, in my belief, I think really good design is important, because what people care about with the tower, this or that, is it's going to diminish their property value. It's going to ruin their beautiful view. It's going to do this, or it's going to do that. I think it is absolutely critical that when we do this work, it can't just be about, let's build this housing here. Let's put this tower here. It has to be integrated into a plan where you really see the entire community looked at holistically. It's a tough thing to do. Our nation and its the design of municipalities has been redlining has dominated that. you know, and that is of course a problem. So how do we do it in a way that is inclusive? And I think that the federal government can create incentives for this. I also think we have to make it easier to build. We have to look. I'm a local elected official. I hear what people say about our building department. I get it. Like, it has to be easier to enforce critical design laws, critical environmental laws, but without so much red tape. Like, we absolutely have to do that, and I think the federal government can help incentivize that as well.
So housing was one pillar. There were
Health.
others. Health.
I think we have to start pushing hard for a Medicare for all. I think that this is the time, given that our health system is frankly in a death spiral, we need to completely
What does Medicare
remake
for all
it.
mean to you?
Medicare for all. So I have lived in the UK for 4 years in like a single payer system. And I have to say, having health coverage in that way was the most liberating thing. It liberates small businesses from the burden of carrying the cost of insurance, right? It liberates people knowing that even if they lose their jobs, their health doesn't have to be sacrificed.
Which allows them to be more mobile and take on new opportunities and take some risks and spur innovation.
Exactly. Have more freedom. I believe a system like that is something that we really have to aspire to. Because the system we currently have that is so tied to health insurance and so tied to the profits of insurance companies undermines the health of Americans. You can't. There isn't a doctor you speak to in this country that doesn't complain about this process. Every doctor I speak to talks about Medicare for all.
I mean, like, I am always perplexed by a healthcare system that everyone on all sides of the aisle agrees is not serving people as we intend and is not giving us the outcomes that we want, while becoming more and more costly every year. It's broken. No one wants to think. Everyone points at the flaws of other systems, but what's made America so amazing is our ability to innovate.
Yes.
Like to be like, okay, we're going to learn from this and we're going to do something our way.
We are stuck in this moment, I think, in so many boxes and so many old paradigms. And maybe what is so exciting about say, Mom Donnie's victory, for example, is he started with what people need. He said, this is what we're going to do, and then he's working to make that happen. Instead of saying, oh, we can't do that because it'll have a domino effect. We'll do this or we'll do that. No, we agree. Every American should have the health care they need to thrive. Children. I mean, it is appalling that we live in a nation where not all children have health care. Every child should have the health care they need. Every child should have the nutrition they need. So what do we do as a nation to create those systems in a way that's cost effective? Right?
Yes.
But right now we're trapped in so many old playbooks. The playbooks have to go. Have to go.
And I do see your suburban progressive agenda really kind of pushing the edge of what's possible and what we should be aspiring to.
Look, if we can, if a system can be created that takes money off the backs of working people, trillions of dollars, and turns those into tax breaks for people who are already doing well, like, surely we can prioritize what we need to thrive as a nation. I mean, and this is the thing, it's not just about our individual lives, it's about who we are as a nation. How can we continue to be the most innovative nation, the most innovative democracy in the world, if we don't invest in it? And this is an investment in the strength of our nation, because our nation is its people, right? Healthy people, well-fed people, well-educated people, in a safe, healthy environment, you know, who are cared for not just in terms of, you know, like the daily needs of housing and food, but in terms of our environment, you know. This is the distinction, I think, between the progressives and perhaps others who are not, who see corporations as people. When we see corporations as people, it really throws things into a bit of a crazy situation.
It does.
People are people.
Yeah.
Let's focus on taking care of people and the rest will follow.
So we have, 7 months, a little over 7 months until the primary, and the field is going to get more and more competitive. Elbows are going to get sharper. Everyone is now going to be starting to focus on building their coalitions. Where do you feel your campaign is in its life cycle, and how do you kind of stay not only viable from here, but start to expand that base and demonstrate what that base can do as we're moving into the new year?
Yeah, that's a great question. We, from the beginning, have been focused on, it's always been for me about the coalition building.
Yeah.
Because, again, like even as a candidate, centering myself isn't the first thing. Centering the people we serve is the thing. And sort of and I will say this, I go back to Mom Donnie's campaign again. I knew the first time I heard him speak that he came from a social justice background because he never really centered himself. He was out in the community listening to what people need and putting people first, right? That is what inspires coalition building. Like really, really recognizing what people need.
Yeah.
And so so when he won the primary, that was a proof of concept.
Yep.
You know, and that is the only way I can do it. Like I've spent my entire life again in the nonprofit sector around social justice, around inclusion within the arts.
Yeah.
And I could never do it any other way. So I'm really happy about the coalition building we're doing.
Yeah.
Much of the first part of this campaign, in addition to going what I call the beauty contest in front of the all the DLs and all the good, you know, that's all great. I'm grateful for all that time. Has been the same kind of deep conversations within communities, again, that are typically overlooked about what is needed. And that's, again, if we get this right, and this is what we're really fighting for, is empowering people to really choose their candidate. And I hope it's me. You know, that is what I want. And if it's not me, it's going to be the Democrat. You know, like this isn't just about me. It's about the party and where it should be, and it's about our nation and where it should be. We cannot do it without deep coalition building. We cannot.
I'm so glad you're running. I really appreciate the sacrifice that you've made, because it is a sacrifice. I mean, would you? I know that you might be here on a normal Saturday, but like ordinarily, I know that your days are stacked in ways that they wouldn't be, and that crowds out other things that you might be doing in life. And I really appreciate your dedication to the campaign and to getting the message out and bringing people back into the fold.
Man, if we can do more things like this, it'd be great. I gotta schedule this in, like the regular meetings. If they happen here, then, you know, or at the movies, maybe, that'd be great. Like, not like you have a conversation at the movies, but like meeting, movies. But anyway, thank you. No, I mean, I feel very privileged. I feel very fortunate. To have the opportunity to do this, because the fight is in me. I'm ready, and to be able to bring it to the system, all the systems, not just Mike Lawler, you know, to be able to really, you know, poke the bears. The bears need to be poked right now, and we really need to bring a critical lens to all of the systems that we are surrounded by: the Democratic Party, healthcare, you know, how we've approached housing. It's time to prioritize to say what we actually want and prioritize it, instead of being like, oh goodness, it's going to be too hard. No more. This is too hard. This is too hard. Right. We just need to fix it. Thank you, Effie. Thank you.